Hi, it's David from Life with Parkinson's. If you're new here, welcome. We hope you'll consider subscribing, and thank you for coming back to watch this episode with me and my good friend Trevor. And Trevor and I have known each other for a very long time, probably around 40 years or more, and we like a lot of the same things, and we've been spending more time together since I've been diagnosed with Parkinson's, and he's moved a little bit closer to Pine Mountain Railway. So why don't you just tell us a bit about yourself, Trevor?
Well, I was born and raised in Squamish, not too far from where Dave used to live, and helped build the railway museum there, worked there all my life, helped out doing lots of museum work around Squamish.
Yeah, if you need a fact about a train, he's the guy to talk to, especially the Royal Hudson.
Well, that's just one of I grew up with the Royal Hudson coming into town right down the street from me for the whole time it ran. 25 years it ran.
Yeah, I remember that very clearly.
You always knew it was lunchtime when the train would come in.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I'd say this is probably the fourth year we've been hanging out in the wilderness.
Yeah.
It's been good for me to get out more and do things, especially with Parkinson's. But as we all know, Parkinson's carries a bit of a caretaking role along with it, because you just never know what's going to happen. How have you found that in your own life, hanging out with me, someone with Parkinson's, someone who comes with a little extra baggage than the regular friend might come with?
Well, I knew that you liked the outdoors.
Yeah.
And I was buying this place. It's a quarter section, 160 acres. I figured that Dave could get out of the concrete box and come over here and enjoy a little bit of the outdoor life.
Yeah.
A few weekends a year. So I said, yeah, come on over and we'll accommodate you and do our best to look after your needs with the Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And that's included learning a new way of cooking.
Yeah, which you're very good at, I might add.
Well, I'm trying hard.
You got to check out Trevor's YouTube channel about cooking.
I've learned a lot about medications.
Mm-hmm.
And I've learned a lot about the progression of Parkinson's. But each year that Dave comes up, it's a different show.
Yeah, it's a different story every year.
Whether it's your food or whether it's the medications or how long you can be out in the bush for.
Well, I definitely appreciate it. It's good to get just around different surroundings, especially surroundings like this where you can just go out there and just wander and hopefully find your way back.
Yeah, well, one of the big things that we've found that helps with finding our way back is the technology. We're using Google Maps, and we have each other pinned on here, so if Dave's out in the bush and he gets into trouble with some sort of emergency or something, I know exactly where he's at, and I can go find him. Whereas if he was out here and didn't have any immediate contact, it might take hours, many hours to go and find him.
Yeah, you just don't know where he is.
Yeah, whereas this, if I'm on Google Maps, I go, okay, Dave's right there. I just walk down this trail and out there, and it's right there.
Yeah, so where's Waldo? It's gone. It's where's Dave? Well, right now I'm right here. Not very hard to find. Are there any adjustments you've had to make in your own life? Like when I started coming up here, I was probably a little bit more independent. I could drive still. And
yeah, you were driving. You could make it over here on your own. I knew at some point that you would have to be driven around just because of the progression of the Parkinson's. That time, it all depended on when you decided to give up your driver's license.
Yeah.
So once Dave gave up his driver's license, and he's only an hour away, so it's easy enough to run over the hill to go get him. I've had to adjust to when he wants to come over here. I have to make that trip to go over and get him and take him home again. Adjustments in the cooking stuff, almost minimal sugar, no flour, watch out for dyes and foods that could set him into an off.
Food coloring, artificial flavors.
Buying food, you don't just go to the store and say, I want this, 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 and this. And you have to look at it to pay attention. It's not the free-for-all when Dave's around.
So it's not every friend that's definitely going to do that for you. Why do you think you're interested in doing something like that?
Well, just because you've been a good friend for so long, and it's a little bit of me being a good friend to you, plus me wanting to learn something new. And now I've got a new skill. I know a little bit about caregiving for Parkinson's now.
Yeah, well, yeah, you definitely know quite a bit.
When Dave comes out here, he de-stresses. So his anxiety level goes down. He can go out and wander in the bush and sort of be away from it all. There was one day when he was going home his anxiety got the better of him, and it took him almost an hour to walk the 30 feet out to the truck.
That was a terrible morning.
And it showed really how the disease can take over your life. You go from being free and carefree 1 minute to, oh, something's coming on. And all of a sudden the disease takes over your body. You can't move. I have to worry about if he's standing up, if he's going to fall down. And he's a lot bigger than I am, so I'm not going to be getting in the way of trying to keep you from falling. I'm just going to let you go and keep everything out of the way so you crash down relatively safely.
That's the safest way. Definitely the safest way. We had a lot of experience with anxiety last fall, especially when we were shooting this YouTube episode for this other company together. And we had a lot of instances of anxiety playing out and what to do and how to explain it to people that are new, that don't really know anything about Parkinson's.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is with Dave, and I see it in him now more and more because I'm getting used to being around him when he's going through his episodes. When he goes from on to off, it's recognizable in what way his face is and the way he moves in his hands. If his hands start to clam up, I know he's going into an off.
Yeah.
And it's, okay, Dave, go sit on the couch or lay down on the bed. He's pretty good at it himself, but when he gets overexcited and rambunctious and go, which Dave likes to do.
Yeah, I do like to go.
Sometimes you gotta just tell him, okay, or I can see you're starting to go off a little bit. Go sit down.
Yeah, well, last fall we were playing with like the Movapo and the Parkinson's gloves. Which ones would work better? And it turned out to be that the gloves were better functioning. The Movapo just carried too many side effects with it.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Last year we came up with the Parkinson's vibration gloves, and it helped Dave considerably for about the first 6 months, right?
Yeah, about the first 6 months.
And then he started getting stimulated in his fingers, and other things started happening to the disease that was with the overstimulation. So we're on phase 5 now?
We're working on design.
We're working on designs to keep ahead of the progression of the disease so that Dave can get some sort of a normal life.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's for me lately, it's just the difference between on and off is just so huge. Like on is way up here and then off is right down at the floor, and it's just the difference between the two is just so dramatic.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. This last year, your swings have been a lot more dramatic.
1 minute I'm up here, and then 5 minutes later I'm dropping like a rock.
And if you're out in the bush when you drop like a rock, it's a bit of a concern because what do you do then, right?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's the problem in Canada. There's no really rescue medication for people with Parkinson's to get them out of those offs.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem, I think, that people just don't recognize. The offs are the dangerous time and the ons are the safe time. So we need to extend the on times as much as possible. Without extra stuff, it's difficult to do that.
The whole medication thing it's almost like a great big experiment with Parkinson's because everybody's different. They put a little more effort into working with Parkinson's patients because it's a disease that's growing more and more with the population. The governments need to come together and put in more effort to work on helping the patients through with the different medications.
And I realize how fortunate I am to come out here to a place like this. I know not everyone's going to have the opportunity. But if you do have that opportunity to hang out with a friend now and then, jump on it. Don't hesitate to do it. There are people out there in your life somewhere. I'm hoping for everybody. And you do have a friend that you can spend time with and take an interest in their life as much as they take in your life. That's very important as well.
Yeah.
Don't pass up those opportunities where you can be doing something. What do you see in the future, Trevor, for situations like this? Like for me coming out here and you taking on that burden of caregiving, what do you think the future is going to look like a little bit?
The future all depends on where the disease goes. If you get to the point where 90% of your time you're stuck in bed, I mean, bringing you out here and just rolling you around on a trolley doesn't really make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
If we could figure out a way of doing better gloves or finding better medications, something like that, to where you're here more than 50% of the time, then we'll just keep doing this. It works really well. But like I say, we don't know what the progression is going to be and where it's going. You keep in contact with people that are long-termers on this thing.
Yeah.
And you sort of bounce off ideas, what they're going through.
Mm-hmm.
And even people that are shorter term than you are actually worse off than you are, right?
Oh, there's lots of people out there, I'm sure, that are worse off.
Yeah.
I'm very conscious of that. I think about it a lot. What every year, like this year, is just dealing with the dramatic swings has been, the first couple nights definitely been difficult to deal with personally. It's just like, oh my gosh, how much did I progress over the last 8 months? I'm hoping to find more ways to deal with the off times.
All I like to say about this is, for the people that have Parkinson's and they have a good care group around them, that makes a huge difference, just having people around who are willing to work with you.
Mm-hmm.
Even take you away for a day to do stuff outside of your home. That makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Oh, it does. It makes the world a difference. Thank you very much, Trevor, for giving us your perspective.
Well, you're welcome. You're welcome to come back anytime and
thank you.
Enjoy the fun out here.
Well, if you guys have any questions or comments for us or Trevor, feel free to leave them below. Let's continue to take this journey together. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.